Welcome to Shorty SuperCoach. Apologies about a bit of a late press conference, but things have been pretty crazy. Obviously, last time we spoke, lockdown wasn't as much of a thing, or at least extending it probably wasn't. So we'll talk about that in a minute, but here's how I went this week. Reasonable week, moved up in the ranks, which was nice. You'd probably want to from 50,000, but if we have a look exactly how I went, hopefully you can join me for a bit of a live sesh tomorrow, probably around 8-ish. Alrighty, so Mills went nicely led. Stewart, Ridley was a bit disappointing. I was sort of following it loosely. It did seem like he was a bit quieter. If you watch that game a bit more closely, let us know why. Definitely Laverty and even Stewart down back is making it more difficult to score and intercept. So I don't know if he's going to be exactly what we thought those first 3 or 4 weeks. Jones was good, needed that. Highmore and Murphy played, but nothing too fantastic there. Midfield's kicking along the right. Oliver great, Petrarca, Kelly, Simpkin, Heppel fantastic. Mitchell just solid enough. Jordan bounced back, which is good. Drew has certainly hit his point where he's a trade out sort of guy now, particularly with the bye. And Grundy hurt with the captaincy. Max Gorn 120, super awkward VC option, isn't it? Last week I think he was like 124 or something, and I took it this week. Just was feeling good with Grundy against the Cats, and he was flying 76, and I think he did that late in the second or early in the third, so he was on his way to a good score, but got screwed over, so that was disappointing. And Flynn also, he still went up in price, but that's sort of him done in terms of making money, or at least good money for a little bit. Zeeble, Sidebottom, Martin, all really nice. And Heaney, 128. Hopefully a few of you followed me in there and jumped on board him. Rowe sort of came back a little bit. And Poulter, he's super consistent. Farah was a disgrace. And Madden scored quite nicely, but the word on the street from my diehard Brisbane mate, Jack Watson, is that he is in serious doubt of exiting the side if Ryan Lester is to come back, and apparently he hit the track fairly nicely this week. So let's talk, what are we going to do? Because it's chaos, it's buys, but there's more chaos than that. Games are in different venues. Is the season going to be postponed? What's it even going to look like in 2 weeks' time? I think all we can really do is stick to our original plan. Just go about it and as if we were having a normal year, normal buys, because you can't predict it, you can't plan for it. And if it all does go to shit, then everyone will be in that same boat. So for me, this week, I think you really want to line yourself up to get Whitfield in after his bye. I think that's pretty crucial. And I'll probably look to do that for Stephen May. I'm struggling on the trade front, but Stephen May just, Jones hasn't really gone up enough to make that transaction. One more price rise would have been tasty from him, but he also has the bye. So I'm probably sort of looking at that in a fortnight. So this week, look, Drew will go. I've got 145k in the bank. I really haven't thought about this. Probably when the lockdowns kind of go on, I kind of switch off from footy mode. Like, I'll watch it, but the shows throughout the week, the radio, certainly not as much. It's just clogged with COVID talk. But just this is literally the first time I've had a look at it. So I would say we can get a little bit, just guessing that these guys keep their spot. Oh, shit, don't want to do that. You can get some coverage there in the back line, so providing no droppings from there, we should be okay. Let's see if Sam Berry keeps his spot. And let's just pretend that Madden keeps his spot. So you're going to have a reasonable week this week. Doesn't look like the buys, are going to hurt us too much on this occasion. I'm probably going to, the time's come on Willem Drew. I would have thought that his break even, is pretty high. He was going nicely, and after a shaky start when he got dropped about a month ago, he's actually turned out to be a pretty good money maker. Last couple of weeks dropped off and dropped money, but now he's got a whopping break even and a buy, so he's got to go. First thought sort of is McRae, but I'm really going to just have to work it out how much money I'm going to have. Flynn will go down to just whoever I want, whether it's whether it's Reeves or whoever gets named, or whether it's just a 102 guy with a bit of dual position. So, yeah, I would imagine James Jordan might also be disposable. Because honestly, I sort of thought Heppel was a guy that was probably going to go sooner rather than later, but he's really spiked up. So Jordan's got a break even in 90. So I think looking at this, I would imagine Jordan will go, Drew will go, and Flynn will go. That will give me, if we go, let's just say we eke everything out of it, let's call it 250k. That'll give me, let's call it 400k all up. And that would allow me to go, if I went Macrae, I'd need, I think Macrae's about 640, isn't he? Something like that. 637. So, yeah, you're looking at the best part of 190, which takes us back to about 260 odd. And then, Jordan. I'll be able to find somebody in that 550 range. I told you Jack Steele had a 150 around the bloody corner. Spewing, I missed it. So I'm not sure if the ship has sailed on that. Fife could be the guy. Zach Merritt could be the guy. Sort of fellas that had quite a few weeks back. So I'll ponder that. But, just me sort of thinking out loud there. But let us know what you're going to do. Like I said, going live tomorrow. Take your questions. And if you're in Victoria, try and stay entertained. Hopefully the footy can keep going. It's a pretty shit-house time for us in Victoria. Fingers crossed nothing too crazy goes on over the next week. But I'll be chatting to you guys soon enough. Hopefully you had a half-decent week, both in SuperCoach and your footy side getting up, and I'll talk to you soon. Cheers.